Hello, it's the Irish Gypsy here to do your January 2016 tarot card readings. I continue to use the Gilded Tarot deck, drawing 8 cards for the month, 2 cards for each week, along with an additional card as your overall theme and general advice for the month. These are general readings, so they may not apply or resonate the same with everyone who watches them. If they don't, I suggest you check your rising and your moon sign as well. For those of you who are interested in personal readings, you can click on the About button on my channel's homepage, and that'll give you a little more detail about myself, the services I offer, and my contact information. A special thank you going out to those of you who have allowed me to do personal readings for you. You've been keeping me quite busy, and I will never forget each and every one of you and your stories. It's truly been an honor and a pleasure. Thank you. For those of you who are interested in personal readings, my January specials are readings for $1 a minute, beginning at 30-minute readings and going up to 90-minute readings. And I do those via phone, live Skype, or recorded videos based on the information questions you send me. I also offer yearly overviews and outlooks. I do those in the form of 60 or 90-minute readings via the same venues. So if you're interested in that, you can contact me at Maggie, the number 1 McGuire at gmail.com. And a thank you for those of you who continue to watch and to follow and to subscribe and comment on my videos. Thank you so much for your feedback. It's been very valuable and most appreciated. So let's get into this reading. This is for Libra for the month of January 2016. What does January 2016 hold for my Librans? January 2016 Libra. What does the first month of this glorious new year hold for you? Libra, January 2016. Okay. For the first week, we have the Sun card, followed by the Ace of Cups. Beautiful combination. For the second week, we have the Ten of Wands with the Hermit card. We're almost there. For the third week, we have the Hierophant with the King of Swords. For the fourth week, we have the Queen of Swords, followed by the Eight of Cups. And as your overall theme or general feeling of the month, we have the Two of Pentacles. Wow, it looks like a very powerful, transformative sort of month, Libra. All right, let's begin. We start with the Sun card, a beautiful Major Arcana card. You actually have 1, 2, 3 Major Arcana cards in this spread. We have the Sun card, which speaks of everything you think of when you think of the sun. Light, warmth, love, happiness, life. This speaks of having fun. This speaks of a lightening and a loosening of pressures and restrictions. And if those of you, if there are some of you who have been feeling like your money's been squeezed, your finances are a bit tight, this speaks of things loosening up so you have a bit more breathing room. I see this card sometimes come up when people have been through or at the end of a path that's been very challenging and very draining for them, and it represents them moving into a more sunny place. It just speaks of warmth and life and laughter and fun, being able to have more fun. It's a beautiful card. If any of you are beginning new ventures or new projects or new entrepreneurial sort of things, the sun is smiling on you. It also speaks of things being revealed in the light of sun. There are no hidden recesses or shadowy corners. And for those of you who are going through decision-making processes, the sun assures that one way or the other, you will have the information revealed to you that you need in which to make this decision. Now, it's paired with the Ace of Cups, which is another absolutely beautiful card. The cups being a suit, the element being that of water, and cups being a suit of emotions, relationships, love, how we relate to other people and ourselves, um, our inner emotional landscape. And aces speak of new beginnings and new seeds. They can speak of new beginnings and love. This card points to either those of you that are in an already established relationship, it speaks of new beginnings or a new shift somehow in a more powerful sort of way. Perhaps your relationship is moving to the next level, it's becoming more serious, or you're discussing different level of commitment. For those of you who are single and looking, this represents somebody coming into your life with the potential to have quite a beautiful union, a new beginning, beautiful new beginning. Aces being beginnings and the seeds only. It still matters very much how you plant the seeds and how you nurture and take care of them. But it speaks of promise and potential in a new emotional beginning. And paired with the Sun card, it's just a very beautiful and very powerful combination. And it also speaks to this particular combination, I feel, for you Librans out there, that this speaks also of just of if the area of love, the Sun paired with aces of any kind speak of reaching a place where you're gaining an improvement or a greater mastery over a certain particular area in your life. And cups would speak towards emotion, relationships, love, perhaps your the way you've historically gone about your relationship or your perspective on love. The Sun paired with the Ace of Cups also represents significant and profound improvements or even reaching a level of mastery in this area of your life that you may have had difficulty or challenges with historically. So Libra, what a beautiful way to begin the new year. I love seeing that for you. Now in the second week we have the Ten of Wands paired with the Hermit card, another major arcana card. Now the Ten of Wands tends being the culmination of something, the end of a cycle, and Wands, the element being fire and air and implying movement, change, power, action. The Ten of Wands speak of being at the end of a road where you're almost done. You're at a place where you're almost able to lay these burdens down that you've been carrying, as you can see in this picture. This man is bowed down under the weight of the wands he's carrying to the point that he can't even stand upright. But you can see he's almost, this card implies, I always get a feeling of home is in sight, you're almost there. Whatever it is that you've been going through, this process you've been working on, and for some of you, I feel like it's been a very internal, transformative process. You've been working on something, working on yourself, working on some issues, and it looks like you're at a place where you've really reached a point where you're getting through it. You're at the place where you can almost lay these burdens down. You're almost done on this rather challenging path, and you're ready to move on into another one that represents new beginnings, as evinced by the Sun and the Ace of Cups. And paired with the Hermit card, it looks like you've been. The Hermit represents being on a path of wisdom and clarity. It often points to being on a path where you felt you've either been alone, either deliberately or by circumstances around you, and it shows an old aged man raising a lantern to use the light to find a safe path through this precipice, and the light being symbolic of wisdom and clarity. And this particular pairing, I feel, Libra, like you've been on a path of self-reflection and self-discovery, and I really feel working on some major issues in your life and in yourself. And at times I think this path has felt like a very lonely one, even if it's been by choice, that you've put yourself in a place where you've just really been focused on finding a way to walk through an area of your life or several areas of your life that have been challenged. And it looks like you've reached a point where you're almost done. It's been very challenging and very burdensome, and it's felt sometimes very alone and very heavy, but you're just about there. This combination of cards speaks to being at a place where you've really gained a lot of wisdom and insight, and through a lot of hard work and a lot of challenges, you are finding your way to the path, and you're ready to begin the next stage of your journey. So how gratifying. Kudos to you, Libra. Now, in the third week, we have the Hierophant card, another major arcana card, paired with the King of Swords. Now, the Hierophant card speaks of, it can speak of an actual established religious structure like a church. As you can see, this card shows a bishop or a priest of some kind in front of a cathedral window. It can speak of large organizations or groups of people, corporations. But the underlying theme is really it points towards convention, stability, structure, doing things the conventional way, doing things by the book, being very methodical, kind of going with the flow. It speaks of tradition. This can also represent a marriage card, and for some of you, it might be, especially with the Sun and the Ace of Cards of Cups in the beginning. It can point towards either getting a marriage proposal or you're taking your relationship to the next level, and perhaps having it go a more conventional path. Now it's paired with the King of Swords. The King of Swords is a very powerful sort of individual. Kings being people individuals who have reached the mastery of his suit, and this card points to an individual who has reached control over his thoughts and his thought patterns and the way that he looks at himself and the world around him. Swords, the element being that of air, and swords is a suit that represents our thoughts, our ways of thinking, our perspective, logic, our reasoning, and this is a person who has reached a place where he is in control of his thought patterns and his emotions and is able to access them and balance them easily without letting himself get caught up in them. And this combination of cards together, Libra, tells me that whatever this process has been for you or continues to be for you, that it looks like you're almost done with, this period of self-reflection and self-mastery and working on changing things in your life and within yourself. I'm reading the King of Swords as an actual individual in your life and somebody who has had um, a very significant, very profound effect on helping you walk this path and helping you through this. And paired with a Hierophant card, this could be somebody who it speaks to an authority figure, and it could be somebody who it could be a counselor, a therapist of some kind. It could be a pastor or a priest or a teacher. Um, but it speaks of in this position, it's a very potent individual and somebody who's having and who has had a very profound in effect and influence on this path of self-discovery and self-change that you've been on. Somebody who's really helped you get through this challenging path. And it's it feels very potent, very powerful. Somebody who's really been there for you and who's really helped you on this path. So that's a wonderful combination to have. And it looks like it's somebody who continues to be a very strong influence in your life. Now, it's followed by the cards in the last week of the month being the Queen of Swords. We have both the King and the Queen of Swords. What a powerful combination, and it speaks, again, this hard work that you put into changing something about yourself or issues that you've been working on. It speaks of really reaching a place where you have more control and just you're holding your emotions and your thoughts in a very balanced sort of way. And it's paired with the Eight of Cups. And what I feel about this is now, the Queen of Swords is just basically the female version of the King of Swords. But the Eight of Cups is a card. It's a card I look at as a moving on card. It shows a man who is standing with his back to us and he's surveying the horizon. And behind him are 8 cups on the ground, and some of them are upright, some of them are tipped over. The implication being that he has drunk from most, if not all, of the cards. He's found them temporarily satisfying and distracting. But in the end, he's done with it. He's reached a place where he's done. He's ready to move on. He has his back to us. He's dressed for travel. He has his hat on. He has his staff in his hand. He's surveying the horizon and he's getting ready to move. This card speaks very strongly to moving on. And paired with the Queen of Swords, the feeling that I get from this combination of that you have reached a place, you're at a place with this Ten of Wands, and just it really looks like a period of change. You've worked really hard on changing some aspects of yourself, and it looks like, Libra, you end the month in a place where you feel ready to move on in your heart and in your mind. You feel like you're ready to move on from something, and the phrase I'm getting is decluttering. You've worked very hard at clearing out your life, at clearing out, cutting out people, places, and things that haven't served you well, and also on a more internal level, thought patterns and ways of thinking and acting in the past that really hasn't served you very well. And you've done so much work. I'm just getting kind of a sense of pride and accomplishment. You've worked really hard on aspects of yourself, and you end the month of January, Libra, at a place where you've done a lot of cleaning up and a lot of clearing out, and you're ready to move on. You're ready to move into the next phase of your life, and it looks like a very positive and much improved place to be. And the cards you have for the overall theme and general feeling and advice of the month is the Two of Pentacles. And Pentacles can speak of being in a very balanced place in your finances as well, juggling more than one thing at a time with apparent ease from the outside looking in. You make it look easy. Perhaps some people are not aware of how hard you've worked on these issues and these things that it just looks like you've been working very hard on. The Two of Pentacles is a very powerful card to have as an overall general feeling, a general theme for the month. And this card speaks of really of the solutions that you have found or solutions that you are finding coming from really trusting your own instinct and trusting your intuition. This person is juggling these two things with what looks to be apparent ease. And this is a card that speaks of trusting your gut, trusting your feelings, trusting your intuitions, and really going for it at the end of the day. It feels like a very powerful sort of card, and it feels Libra like whatever this path you've been on, that you're beginning the new year at a really new, fresh place. You've done a lot of clearing, a lot of decluttering. You've been laying down these wands. You're ready to lay down this burden and move on into a new and happier place. So, wow, Libra, what a beautiful and positive way to begin the new year of 2016. I'm very happy to give you such a reading. It's actually been one of the shorter readings of all the January signs. It's had a very beautiful flow to it. It looks like you've just reached a point where you've kind of cut away a lot of baggage, both in your physical environment and inside yourself too. I'm getting that very strongly, and you're ready to move on in your heart and your mind. You're moving on to a better and more elevated frame of mind and a path in your life. So, how happy I am for you, Libra. That's a wonderful thing. I just have a very uh, uplifted sort of feeling looking at this reading. So I hope this has resonated for you, Libra. I hope you've gotten some insight and clarity and food for thought on this. Basically, it just feels like a way to go, good for you sort of month. And it looks like whatever work that you've put into making these changes have really paid off, and you really should be proud of yourself. So if you'd like a more personal extension of this reading, or you'd like to schedule a personal reading entirely, remember, just click on the About button on my channel's homepage, and that will give you a little more information and detail on the services I offer. And unless I post more videos in January, I look forward to seeing how this plays out for you, this beautiful new path in the new year. And if I don't talk to you before then, I will see you next month in February of 2016. And as always, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life, Libra. Thanks for watching.